Good everyone, today's video. Today we have a Scumbag Alert on a player named Fanat Klesti. This was an incident that it's another one of those that didn't need to occur, but clearly people like this just love to escalate things for no apparent reason. So I was out in my SU6 finishing a special task with Reagan and Sir Flying Faultier, and I was just minding my own business. Obviously I needed ground targets to finish it, but that's why I'm in an SU6. And I only needed around, I'd say, 13, 14-ish, something like that. But obviously we was trying to win the match, and, well, I was just trying to be a good teammate and win the match for my team. Same with Fanat Klesti, who was also in an SU6. However, that doesn't seem to be on this person's agenda, because towards the end of the match, where eventually I get shot down, he decides to try and team kill me over an armoured car. Yeah, it's one of those again. You might remember that I was attacked by a squadron member about a year or two ago for taking an artillery piece before he did. It's another one of those very petty players, and unfortunately more of these seem to be arising. I had to defend myself against a Spitfire that did the exact same thing. I was in a Fokker-Wulf about I'd say about a month or two ago. I didn't need to feature it in a Scumbag Alert because the guy didn't even try to kill me. He just fired a warning burst. But as soon as I fired a warning burst, he soon stopped trying it. But in this incident, it's another one of those that didn't need to occur. So as you'll notice, I've actually had to play with the custom loadouts as well on the SU6, and well, I've appropriately called it this. I've got 10 rockets, 2 light bombs, 4 bigger bombs, which I don't even get to use these in the battle. But I do get to use all 10 rockets and the 2 little bombs, which these bombs are... I don't know what it is about bombs recently, but even if you land, no matter the size of the bomb, against an AI tank, it just doesn't seem to do much anymore. You pretty much need something bigger than a 250 to do anything to a tank. But I digress. You'll notice as well what really helped out in this engagement is I was running the 23mm on the SU6 AM42. This is the only SU6 in the game that can do that with 23mm. But obviously the premium one, that already comes with 23s, so that doesn't count. What I mean is that the M71F cannot swap out the 37s for the 23s like you can on this. The premium SU6 does have it naturally. But I do like the custom loadouts, and luckily the amount of ordnance we had was more than enough to do this mission. But of course we had to deal with someone who you'll be seeing in a moment. And speaking of that, I'm going to jump to the replay just to give a bit more context as to what happened, and I'll see you in a moment. You now join me a few minutes before the incident actually occurs. So as you'll notice, all 10 rockets are gone. I've dropped my external 50 kilogram bombs, and I'm up to 26 ground targets. As you'll also notice, we're pretty close to winning this match. Unfortunately, this match does end in a loss, but I digress. So, I'm just minding my own business in this match, just farming away, doing the job of the SU6. Nothing really, shows me that this incident really needed to occur here. We're both farming our own targets. It's evident who the better pilot is at ground pounding, but that's another subject entirely. So, I'm now up to 30. And this is where the incident begins. So, obviously I've turned towards and I've already started shooting at the armoured car. Of course, I do have the lead down for this armoured car, so I'm going to get the kill on this armoured car. But this is, of course, where the incident is going to begin from this. So, he fires a 37mm. And misses the armoured car, as I said. But if you notice there, I've perfectly paused it. Yeah, he's firing at me. And as you'll see, I'm just going to slow it down a little bit. He misses by the skin of his teeth. The armoured car is dead. He has no reason to be shooting at my aircraft. But it's this sort of player. So, let's see what happens from here. Obviously, I know what happens, but you lot don't. So I turn in because I'm thinking, I'm going to have to probably fight this guy. And as you can see, his nose is pitching up towards me. And that's his first hit. So, I know immediately I have to start defending myself. But obviously, I'm laden down with bombs still. He isn't. But remember how I said about them 37mm? That's where it's going to come in clutch. So obviously I'm keeping an eye out for enemy fighters, but I'm also watching him. And now he's actively shooting at me with his rear gunner. So I knew immediately that this guy clearly was trying to team kill me over a goddamn armoured car, so I thought, I've only got 12 rounds of cannon left. I know the SU-6's gunner position like the back of my hand. And well, what happens when the last 12 cannon rounds are needed to take down a team killer? They do so in a single burst. And this is where we're gonna have to prop the chat open, if the chat box would actually... Well, you know, because it's on a winter map, it's quite hard to actually see it, but anyway. I appropriately put in chat, F off, with another word. And well, unfortunately, this is going to be the end of my SU-6, because, well, there's 5 enemy aircraft headed my way, and I even put in chat trying to TK over an effing armoured car, which is how the incident occurred. But the best part is that I'll go to him and see how much he did when we was in the exact same areas at the exact same time. And it will just prove that his ground pounding skills are not as good. And appropriately, someone in our team puts Team Monkey. He then puts in chat that I'm a retard, which that's funny considering I don't try to team kill people over armoured cars. You are really bot and can crab bots only. Yeah, you have no air kills, I have no air kills, I farm better than you. That's just how it's been. So yeah, a bit rich, but you know. And of course, I already know the writing's on the wall at this point, because, well, there's 5 enemy aircraft headed my way, and, well, the SU-6's rear gunner can only do so much. Make that 6, because here comes the 0. And now I'm having to attempt to fight off half the enemy team, but yeah, this isn't going to end well for poor Joe, unfortunately. Now, of course, I'm too busy typing in chat, and that's where I start taking the hit from the Dora. But, well, when you've got this many enemy planes on you, it's only a matter of time before you're sawn in, well, in this case, 4. But he calls me the team killer, yet I wasn't team killing you. I was only defending myself, which is allowed. By the way, in case you didn't know, you are allowed to defend yourself from a team killer. So, I bet some of you didn't actually know that, but now you do. But of course, my SU-6 has been blown into 4 pieces, and yeah, this is the end of the road for me and my team, because this LA-7 over here is going to die to a 335. So, let's have a look at Fanat's player card, and as you may have seen when he was in mid-turn with me, this is a title that you can only get if you participate in tournaments with other players. In other words, this guy should know better, but no, he doesn't. And as we'll see, level 100, Marshall, as per usual, 10,000 games in RB, 1,600 in AB, and a grand total of 71 in Sim. But then we go to his player card, and you'll just see it's toxic tanker trash normally. Top tier tanker trash with stuff like the T80 BVM, F5C, which of course you can only buy this thing, and just things like this really. I mean, he's got a KA50, I really don't need to go any further than this, and well, yeah, that's just what this player is like, unfortunately. But it's clear that he just loves to attack people for beating him to ground targets, and as we'll see here, I don't know why it's doing that, He only has 13 ground targets as opposed to my 32. Had he just been a better pilot, he would have gotten more ground kills. But no. And some might say I'm being greedy. No. I'm just trying to get the win. And besides, most of these 32 were targets that don't make a difference to the tickets. This just proves how greedy this player actually is, because he tries to team kill someone over something that doesn't even affect the match outcome. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's Scumbag Alert on Fanat Clesty. I would advise keeping a stern eye on this sort of player, and if you do meet him in a match, I'd watch your six, because he might just try and team kill you over an armoured car or an artillery piece or something like that. I don't know, but clearly this sort of player just doesn't learn from that sort of thing and thinks this sort of behaviour is acceptable. But it's not acceptable, as we already know. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's Scumbag Alert on Fanat Clesty. And, well, as per usual, do not forget to report this player. And if you do need to put in context for the complaint, make sure to put attempted team kill over a ground target, and I acted in self-defense, which is what I did. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today, and I'll see you all on the next one.